this, and I've said this before, but it's become the habit, and I think it's a really cool thing that I just kind of fell into in writing the Alone Together series is you get the main story, right? So everything between the prologue and the last chapter. But you get two additional stories depending on how you want to look at like the hierarchy of the world that's being developed. So your prologues in all the Alone Together series are going to give you a larger like step back of what's happening in the broader picture that's not necessarily directly impacting the characters yet.
Mhm.
And then your last chapter is always going to introduce the new problem that's going to come up in the next book.
So with Alone Together, did you set the first book as the event happened, or is it sort of 20 or 30 years down the track, or how did that all work out?
It's the first 48 hours of the world falling.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah.
okay,
No. So
awesome.
Alone Together and Alone Together factions are the first few days of the collapse. Book three, we go in a little bit further, about a month or and a half has passed by the time book three hits. And then book four follows just like the next couple days after book three. And then book five will be about 4 to 5 months after book four.
Okay, so the first four books are essentially, just in a week or two of when this all happened.
Yeah, yeah. So you're
Okay.
that's something I saw from the forums that I mentioned earlier when I was digging around. Like, hey, what do you hate? A
Mm.
comment was they said like, look, they either start you right in the apocalypse and they don't give you a believable reason on why like the military doesn't just roll in and crush and kill everything,
Crush everyone. Yeah.
or they start you in the middle of the apocalypse so they don't have to answer those questions.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, don't worry, I
Yeah.
started in the military. I can tell you exactly how we'll screw this up. So that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say because the majority of authors that we've had on that have done like a post-apocalyptic story
Yeah.
have said it like 500 years after it happened, or 50 years after it
uh,
happened. And then I always ask the question because I'm a completionist. Oh, do you describe a lot about what happened? Are you going to, go back and write a prequel? And they're like, no. I was like, well, why?
you're just
It's like
picking
it's
on
like
Jamie right now.
You're picking on me,
well,
man.
yeah, no, 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 no. It's like the first thing I said to him, not yesterday, day before when I finished digesting is, oh, okay, so you've got a sequel to the prequel now. And he's like, oh, well, I'm kind of undecided. And in the back of my head, I'm like, just please do it because there's still a gap
There's a
that needs
huge
to be
gap.
filled um, between that. But yeah, but that's just the completionist in me.
Yeah.
When I play games, I do every mission, side
Yeah.
mission, main mission, everything. When I read,
Yeah.
like I read comics, I read so many comics every day. It's not funny. I just like to have all the information. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that your zombie book starts right bang at the event happens.
Yeah.
So thank you for catering to my needs.
Oh, I cater to it even more because there are short stories already on my blog that are tied to the Alone Together series,
Yeah.
and they start before the outbreak does.